What's going on, everybody? It's Ed. You guys remember me? I know some of you do. Some of you are new, so that's okay. Hey, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe now. I promise I'm gonna do more videos. My last one was... I was 6.5 months in. Yeah, that wasn't my memory. I actually checked before. So, I cheated a little bit. Yeah, but I'm actually a couple of days away from my 1-year anniversary. So, I'm super proud of myself. I'm not gonna lie to you. I quit on January 1st, 2015, and here we are a couple of days away from that milestone. So can't believe that I actually did the New Year's resolution. I actually stuck with it, but it wasn't easy, but I did it. So I feel great about everything. It's definitely been a while since I checked in, sorry about that, but I'll be able to do some more videos now that I've settled in and things are a little bit more in control now. But yeah, for the most part, like I said, it wasn't easy. There was a lot of times where, actually not a lot of times, but there were times, let's just say that. There were times where it was going to be very difficult to keep my quit going and, you know, things like that. But, you know, at the end of the day, like I was saying in my previous videos, you know, there's a couple of sayings that I like to go by that really helped me through some really tough times, and that was, and even like about a month and a half ago, I had like a really bad day, work was crap, some personal stuff in my life happened, it wasn't easy, but I kept telling myself, like, okay, if I go and have that cigarette, you know, whether it would be one puff, one cigarette, or one pack, the end result was always going to be disappointing for me in the end. I know that the future version of myself, say like even the next morning, would have been really disappointed if I threw it all away. So for that, I'm very proud, and I really recommend it for you guys to use it as advice, you know, because sometimes we get into those situations where we do not know what to do and we feel like it's controlling you and you're like, you know, so use that, man. Use that for any time that you really have a hard time and you think that you're gonna cave. Just remember, is the future version of yourself gonna accept the fact that you just smoked? I can guarantee you maybe 99% of the time that you're gonna be upset at some way or another. You're gonna be disappointed, upset, down on yourself, however you want to slice it. That's probably what's gonna happen, at least for me. So watch out for that. There was a lot of, you know, different experiences I had to go through, some good, some bad, but, you know, for the most part, like, I never really felt like it was completely out of my control. It was kind of like a passing thought, like, oh yeah, I can go and smoke a cigarette now and whatever, or have a puff, you know, like, I always try to, there's a little part of you that kind of tries to give you an excuse to do it, or like, you know, like a way out, but there's no escaping like what's happening with you. Just try to keep your quit as long as you can. Just keep going, you know. Sorry, a little thirsty. Anyways, so yeah, it's been challenging. Not gonna lie to you. You know, first things first. For anybody new that's new to vaping and relatively new to quitting smoking, the first thing I want to tell you is, and it really helped me, was to do it for yourself, okay? Don't do it for anybody else. And I know that it's not a selfish thing. It's really quite the opposite. You're just trying to do something really good for yourself, because at the end of the day, for me at least, like, there was times where in, you know, previous years where I tried to quit smoking for other people, like either it was my girlfriend, or, you know, my mom or my dad or my grandmother. Like, I tried to quit for their birthdays. I tried to like just quit for them on a whim, and you know, it doesn't really work, because in my opinion, what's going to happen is, you know, let's say you get in a fight with one of those people, or whatever, whoever it is that you quit for, whether it's your kids or, like I said, your spouse or significant other or whatever, or your parents. Like, as soon as you get in a fight with them, like, the gloves are off, man. Like, the first thing you're going to do is probably go buy a pack of cigarettes and ask yourself, why did you do that for that specific person? So in my opinion, you should just kind of do it for yourself. You know, you're going to feel a lot better about everything. That way, when stuff is kind of out of your control and you're not feeling too great, you can still hold that, like, you know, true to your heart, like that you're doing something good for yourself, and the cigarette's never gonna really fix anything anyway. So that being said, you gotta kind of like trick your mind or convince yourself, because there's always going to be a little part of you that wants to do it, but then you got to take the bigger half of your mind and everything else and kind of smash that thought, man. Smash it, and that's it. Another trick that I had was to obviously up the nicotine. If you're really having a really hard day, and you really feel like it's not doing it for you, up the nicotine, and it's going to help a lot. Even if it's just for that one day or a couple of days or whatever it is, whatever the trigger is, just be prepared for it and put a little bit more nicotine than what you normally vape, and you should be able to get through it with a good mindset, good self-control, and everything else. Like, you should be able to. I mean, right now, just to give you an example, like I'm at 12 milligrams of nicotine, so I've cut down. I don't remember what I was at when I was at 18. I lied. So I was at 18, right? And then I don't remember what the time frame was, but probably like 3 months after, I started to go down to 12, and I thought that was too much of a jump, so I would mix like 18 and 12. So I kind of had like a 15 concoction going on. And then eventually I went to 12 throughout the whole summer and things like that. Maybe not throughout the whole summer, but a good part of the summer. And then eventually, like there was a couple of bad days that I had, So what I did was, for those couple of days, like I went back up to 18. I didn't take any chances or anything. Maybe I went a little extreme for sure, but it was either that or I was gonna smoke. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna take a chance. I'm just gonna go and get some higher nicotine and just like survive the night. Let's put it that way. And then the next day I went back down to 15, and then the day after that I went down to 12 again, and it was like nothing happened, seriously. It wasn't like, oh, you're back up on 18, so you have to stay at 18. It doesn't really work like that, at least it didn't for me. So yeah, a lot's changed. A lot for the better, I would say. Actually, pretty much everything for the better. A lot of benefits, everything's better. Your skin's better, you sleep better. Touching on that one, actually, on the sleep one, I do sleep better once I fall asleep, I will say that. And sometimes I even wake up earlier now. It's crazy. Where before, when I was a smoker, I used to like sleep in a lot, Now it's like I wake up earlier, like there's a good like 2-hour difference there. So I don't know if there's a link between the two. Most possibly there is, but anyways, I would recommend, though, sometimes I do have a hard time falling asleep at night if I vape too late. So, if you're having trouble sleeping because of the vaping, maybe just, try not to vape too late into the night. Like, try to, put it down like maybe an hour or whatever before you go to bed. I don't know. I'm just giving you some sort of guideline here. I have no idea. Maybe 2 hours. Experiment, test it with yourself, see if you find a difference. That is, if you're having an issue. If you're not having an issue, then forget about it. Like, I've known people to, have a cigarette or vape and they sleep right after. So me, unfortunately, I'm not like that. I don't know why. I wish I was, but I was never really one to do that. It always kind of woke me up. Not in the same way as having a cup of coffee, but there was something definitely similar or whatever. At least for me in my experience. So. That's another thing I would recommend. Yeah, a lot of things got better. Like I said, skin, sleep better. I breathe better. My cardio's better. Like my weight training, everything's kind of gone full circle. Food tastes a lot better. Obviously, I gained some weight. Thanks for noticing. Just kidding. Yeah, I'm probably about 10 pounds heavier than what I was. But I exercise. I exercise quite often, 4 or 5 times a week. And that was always kind of a part of my routine. But if you're not into exercise, I highly recommend it, because number one, you're probably gonna undo a lot of the damage that you did to your body for all those years that you smoked or whatever. So I feel like you're kind of undoing the damages a little bit faster, if I want to say that. Also, you're gonna have a spike of energy. You're gonna have a lot more energy than what you used to have. So that's gonna help in a sense where you kind of how do I say it? Like you kind of get rid of that energy in a sense. Like you kind of, you know, you have something to do and then you burn it off, and then you feel chill and you feel great. You feel great because it sends endorphins to your mind and everything. So like kind of the same thing as if you eat a piece of chocolate, you know, like there's endorphins that go to your mind and your brain and you feel happy. Like exercise does that too. So I would recommend doing that. And like I said, you're going to slowly see that like everything's going to be better. Like your cardio is going to be so much better. It might take a little bit of time. You know, like for me, my weight training is going excellent as well. Like when I was a smoker, I felt like I was like more deflated, you know, like I was flatter. Now, like I feel like everything's like a little bit more full and dense, you know. So yeah, no, I definitely feel better and I look better than I did a year ago. I could say that. You know, like I said, I mean, it wasn't easy. There was a lot of different times, a lot of different situations where I had to, you know, like I said, up the nicotine, or, you know, it was kind of like a little bit of a test with myself, but it never got to the point where it's out of my control. I'll just tell you that right now. It was never like I was like, oh man, I need to have a cigarette right now or else I'm gonna kill someone. No, it wasn't like that. Or even like if somebody was having one, I wouldn't even bother to like have like one puff, because I just knew that whether, like I said, whether it was a puff, a smoke, or a whole pack, I knew that I would be really disappointed in myself, and I didn't want to go through all of that, you know. So there's going to be lots of different times that you know, maybe not a lot of different times, but it's definitely going to pop up once in a while that you're having an off day, you don't really feel that great, you're wondering if you're, you know, too hard on yourself by quitting. But don't listen to that voice. Listen to the other voice where you're like proud of yourself for doing what you're doing. You have a good thing going. You know, look at the date. Look how long you've been smoke free for. Use that as motivation. That's what I did, you know. After like 9, 10, 11 months, I was like, there's no way, I don't want to throw this away right now. I've gone so long without it, you know. So I mean, for that reason, that helped me a lot. And you know, like it's not as if every day it's like this. No, it goes away. Like I'm not fully reminded every day that I used to smoke, you know. Like there's lots of days and triggers that I just don't even think about anymore, you know. Like the driving one, I don't think about that, you know. The one where you know, I used to smoke when I woke up. Like there's a lot of different triggers that they kind of fly out the window, where you'd think they're going to always be on your mind, but they're really not. They go away with time. They might revisit you once in a while. They might come back, but that's up to you to kind of stop it in its tracks and just, you know, like I say, I vape. I still vape. I'm okay with doing that. I definitely plan on lowering the nicotine level after New Year's, so I'm probably going to go down to 9 if I can't do 6. I'll try to do 6, but if I can't, then I'm going to do 9 and then, you know, go to 6 eventually. There's no clock on this thing, guys. At the end of the day, like, you know, the most important thing for me is, you know, just being cigarette free. So, you know, take as long as you want, take as much time as you need. Don't let anybody, you know, tell you otherwise, like, you know, because you'll notice there's a few people that are like, you know, at first they're like, wow, you quit smoking, way to go, okay, cool, the electronic cigarette works. And then once you get to like 6 months, 8 months, 10 months, and a year, they're like, oh, you're still using that thing? Like, don't listen to that, okay? Seriously, like, take as much time as you need to actually be okay with it, you know? Because last thing you want to do is you quit vaping too soon, you know, and then you relapse on cigarettes, you're back to square one, and then like the sky's falling. So do your own plan, man. Like I said, there's no clock on this thing. Take as much time as you need, keep going with it. I know you could do it. I could do it, you could do it, okay? So I had a big problem. I had a big problem before where cigarettes like pretty much controlled every aspect of my life, from everything that I did. So, but you can do it. I've done it, you could do it too. So that being said, I'll wrap it up. I can't believe I've been talking for 14 minutes. It feels like 2. Like, why does this always happen? Anyways, thanks for watching. I'm going to come up with some more videos soon. Now that everything's kind of settled down, I'm going to post more frequently. But yeah, 3 days away from 1 year, and I feel great. Woo! So, just wanted to update you guys. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. And if any of you have any suggestions for something you want me to talk about, just let me know. All right, I'm really open, and I guarantee you, I'm gonna answer your question, and we'll go from there. All right. Thanks for watching. Take it easy and stay smoke free. See ya.